my God, what are you guys doing here? Welcome to my practice space. Thanks so much for dropping by. I hope you guys are really enjoying these videos that we're doing and want more. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy some of these videos, please click like and leave a comment. One of the things that I'd like to ask you is to leave your questions in the comment section and tell me, what do you appreciate about yoga the most, and what are some of the practices that you want to learn more about? So let's dive into this practice. Hey guys, welcome. My name is Yogi Aaron and welcome to my channel. If you like this channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button and that little bell so that you can receive notifications whenever we upload new videos. We're going to be putting out a lot of new content, and some of what I want to focus on today is actually around a problem that really plagues a lot of people, and that is sciatica. Now, just for the record, I have actually experienced sciatica for a lot of my life, and I didn't actually know that I was experiencing sciatica. It all really came to a head a few years ago when I actually ended up in the hospital, and an emergency doctor told me that I probably would need a spinal fusion in my lower back, L4, L5, S1, because of a herniated disc. And so there's a few reasons why people suffer from sciatica. But just to kind of back up first, the sciatic nerve runs right underneath the glutes, and it presses into glute medius, and it also presses into the piriformis. So a lot of people end up feeling a lot of pain, like right here in their glutes, and sometimes it can be really intense. I remember the first time I got sciatica, it was actually on this leg, and it came like right out of nowhere, and it progressively got worse and worse and worse. And then finally it started to ease off and get better. But there was like some days when I could barely get out of bed and walk around just because it was like somebody was driving a knife into my glute, and I was like, oh my God. The thing is with sciatica, and this is like a mistake that a lot of people made, and I'm speaking again from personal experience as well as being in somewhat of a quasi-expert in this field, is that we tend to stretch it out, and stretching it out is one of the worst things that you can do. Sciatica, more often than not, is a symptom of other things going on in the body, and if we can address those things, the sciatica will almost disappear. For myself, since I've been following the AYAMA protocols for the last 3 years or so, I have not had, knock on wood, any sciatic pain. And I can actually tell you that I pretty much not had any sciatic pain for the first time in all my life. Because when I go back and look at my life and look at the kind of pain that I was dealing with in my glutes, the only way that I could solve that pain, which was really a very mild form of sciatica, which was obviously progressing into when I ended up in the emergency hospital, that my solution was always to stretch it out. And it's really the wrong thing to do. Intuitively, when you get pain back here, you want to do, in yoga we call them hip openers. You know, you're gonna grab your leg and try and stretch out this stuff here. But one of the reasons why it's not good is because it really starts to shut the glutes down. The glutes actually become deactivated, which is the worst thing you want to do. The glutes need to be activated, and because they're not activated, that is actually exacerbating a lot of issues that are related to sciatica. But for today, I want to just focus on giving you one simple little hack, and this hack will really start to help you deal with some of your sciatic pain and actually hopefully start to repair it a little bit. So there's a few reasons why people get sciatic pain, but one of the big causes to sciatic pain is because in the lower back, a disc starts to bulge out. And press into the nerve. So right around L4, L5, S1, this whole area of the lumbar spine starts to become compressed, and that vertebrae compress upon each other. They start to press discs out, and those discs are starting to press into nerves, which then starts to send the signals down into the sciatic nerve. So what we want to do is try to get those discs back into the vertebrae. One of the best ways to do that is extension poses or back bends. Now, I want to just kind of draw your attention to one other thing. And think about this, especially if you're sitting a lot, is look at how I'm sitting right now. Now, pretend that there's a computer here. Do you recognize this? So this position is doing two things. One, it's just continuously starting to press that disc out of the spine, which is going to make the problem even worse. So we want to start to cultivate a posture that's more erect. Now, for many of you guys, probably because due to stress, trauma, and overuse, as well as bad habits, as well as being instructed to flatten your curve in your lumbar spine, there's a cue out there in the fitness world and yoga world, which is tuck the tailbone. It's the worst cue that's out there because it's actually encouraging this flexion. We don't want that flexion. We want the lower back to be in extension. We want this nice, healthy lordotic curve. So because your body, your neuromuscular system is holding your body in place like this, we now want to start to cultivate a pose and encourage that lordotic curve. So one of the most simplest ways to do this, and there's a few, but for today, I want to just give you this one simple hack, is you just simply come down into this pose, and we call this pose Sphinx pose in yoga. And this is just really lovely. You just come into this pose and you stay here. You stay here for about 5 minutes. Now, a lot of people that deal with sciatic pain, oftentimes they'll go to bed, hello me, and they'll lie in bed and they'll feel horrible sciatic pain. And usually there's a few reasons for it. It could be just the way that their body is sitting. It could be because once you start to relax, the brain has less other things to focus on. And then you'll start to feel the pain because you're not thinking about other things. So this can be a really nice pose to do just before you go to bed. And for a lot of people, this can really help reduce, if not take away, a majority of the pain. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can play with this pose. First of all, I just like to hang out here. And again, you can stay here for 5 minutes. One of the things that you can do is, if you feel like the pain is more on this side, you can actually start to walk the elbows a little to the left, and then I like to push a little bit more through the right foot. So if your pain is a little bit more on the right side, you kind of take the elbows or arms a little to the left, not a lot, just a little bit, just to create a little bit of a lateral opening in the vertebrae, and that can sometimes help. And even if I don't feel that pain, sometimes I'll just do this anyways, because it feels nice. It really actually feels really darn good, actually. And again, if you have the pain on the left side, you can walk the elbows a little bit to the right, and then again, extend a little bit through that left foot. Oh, that feels so nice. Oh, wow. I can't tell you how delicious this feels. I hope you're doing this with me right now. But one of the things that extensions do is they start to help pull that disc material back in, and it's that disc material that's pressing in on the nerves, specifically the pain receptive nerves. When the discs are pressing in on the nerves, it actually starts to create a little bit of an inflammatory process. The more inflammation there is, the more disruption there is between the brain and the muscles. And what muscles are we specifically talking about? We're talking about all the muscles in the lower back that hold your spine in place properly. We're also talking about the muscles in the glutes. So all of these muscles are not getting messages properly from the brain. And if those muscles are not getting messages from the brain, then they just stop working. And it's like a chain reaction. If they stop working, then the disc starts to press more into the vertebrae, more into the pain receptors, which then causes more inflammatory process, which then causes more disruption. So it's a chain reaction. So until we start to address the problem at the source, this chain reaction is just going to keep happening over and over. Now, you can, again, just stay here for 5 minutes and then just call it off. I've stayed here in this pose for up to 10 minutes. So it's completely safe. It's completely fine. As you're staying here, you really want to try and relax in the lumbar spine as much as possible. You can see I'm wiggling my tail right now just to kind of remind myself to stay relaxed. Nothing is engaged. The only thing that's supporting my body right now, supporting my upper body, is my elbows on the floor underneath my shoulders. If you kind of want to take this to another level, you might want to try this a couple of times. You don't have to do it a lot, but you just bring the hands underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit wider. Let your elbows relax. Don't let them splay out, but also don't tuck them in. And then inhale, come up, and exhale, come down. We'll just do that a couple more times. So inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. This feels so good. Inhale up. And exhale down. Really nice. And there you have it. There's a simple hack to start dealing with some of your sciatic problems. I think that if you take away 2 things from this video, the first is if you have sciatic problems, do not stretch. It's the worst thing that you can do. As I just mentioned, a lot of your muscles are shutting down. You want to get those muscles working and working properly. I know the sciatic pain is horrible. I've experienced it. I know what you're going through. My heart feels for you. But don't stretch. No matter how tempting it is, don't stretch. It's going to just exacerbate the problem. And the second takeaway I hope you bring with you is just do this pose. Do it 5 minutes a day. If it's a really bad problem, maybe do it 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. That's all you need to do, and that will start to help. I will be giving you some more tips, so remember to subscribe and hit that notification button. I'm going to give you so many great tips and tools in this sciatic series. And again, thank you very much. Remember to subscribe. There's a little button right there. I hope it's right there. Maybe it's right there. I don't know. But wherever it pops up, I hope you guys have a super wonderful, pain-free day.